Welcome. My name is Oscar Rojas from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. My division is Natural Resource Officer. We are going to talk about El Niño phenomenon. We are sharing with you some of the main results of this study that was conducted at the end of 2014, December 2014, that we tried to do to see how El Niño phenomenon is related with the agricultural areas. What we know, and we would like to know about El Niño phenomenon. We know that the El Niño, that is this anomaly heating of the ocean in the Pacific, the waters of the ocean in the Pacific, normally are correlated with a lot of change in climate in different parts of the world. This is what we know. Here in this graph, we see some areas that are becoming more warm and dry areas, others that are receiving more rainfall that normally they receive due to the phenomenon of El Niño. However, we would like to see what are the potential damage of drought linked to the intensity onset of the phenomenon in the agricultural areas. If there are some countries or regions that are more vulnerable to the impact than others, and what has been the frequencies and impact of droughts in the croplands of the last 30 years. This will be our question that we would like to solve with this study. In case of laws, if we take some information from the different journals, we see that El Niño have a correlation producing some drought in certain areas that could affect the production of rice, even in Vietnam and other countries of in Southern Asia or in the Pacific, like Indonesia. The characteristics of El Niño each event are completely different. We can have El Niño very strong, or El Niño classified as a moderate or a weak El Niño. But this classification of intensity is only related with the ocean and atmospheric indices that are used to classify El Niño event, and doesn't mean that are directly correlated with the impact in agriculture. We already had in the past a moderate El Niño like 91, 92 that produced a very strong drought in many parts of the agriculture areas. However, the 97, 98, that is the strong El Niño before this one, there was not produced too much drought in agriculture areas. That means that there are no direct interpretation of the classification of intensity of El Niño with impact in agriculture areas. That is the first thing that we have to keep in mind. What is the current El Niño, 2015-2016, that we are seeing with very big impacts around the globe? There will be a strong El Niño, and this moment is going down, and we expect that in March, April, May will become near close to normal temperature in the Pacific. That means it will be the end of this phenomenon of El Niño. However, remember that the atmospheric is not immediately changed as the temperature in the ocean. That means that some areas could be still impacted by a current Niño with reduced rainfall or delayed the start of the season in June, July. What is the forecast by RI Research Institute of Climate in University of Columbia? That they put different kind of models, and we are expected that in the next month, already April, May, June, will be some of the models say that the temperature will be below 0.5, that is the trigger to classify as El Niño, and then become neutral. And some other start to forecast that at the end of the year we can have a difference of temperature that can produce La Niña phenomenon. But this is still something that is have to be corroborated, because there are a lot of difference between the different models that are used to produce this kind of models. The seasonal forecast for the area in Asia is still for March, April, say that they are going to be below normal rainfall. The situation will be a little changed when we move from April, May, June of this year, where they still reduce rainfall, but with less strong probabilities of occurrence. What we get from our study is something that gives a new hypothesis that could be for the climatologists will be more complex to solve. The first what we get, we put here in the bar, are the areas affected by drought in percentage. The colors show me if this year was El Niño year, in gray neutral, La Niña in this purple, and El Niño in blue. Then what we detected with our study is that there are periods where are more El Niño phenomena than La Niña and neutral. For example, this period of these years, in the 80s, there was more event of El Niño than La Niña. This is interesting because they think that when this happens, even La Niña on neutrals start to behave like El Niño phenomenon, producing more drought than other years. When we have a dominance of La Niña, that we call dominance of La Niña, is a group of periods of 8 years, 9 years, where there are more La Niña events than El Niño. In these cases, even El Niño produces less impact than normal due to the presence of more La Niñas, and this will explain why 97-98 doesn't produce too much drought like was expected, because 97-98 was classified as a strong El Niño. After, again, coming back El Niño dominance, and then the increase the drought at global level, and when the last years, for 2014, we was under La Niña dominance, and again was less drought affecting the agriculture areas. This is for the first crop season, this is for the second crop season. We don't have more than 30 years of analysis, however, we can see the cycles in the values of the southern observation index from the past. That means that this is something that has cycles that can affect the production, agricultural production. To confirm this, we use the world cereal production we get from FAO, Statistics FAO-Stat, and we download the information from cereals. We take out the trend to eliminate the effect of the improvement of technology during the time, and we see now the variation of this, the trend production. What we get is that the variation are high deviation when are dominance of El Niño, and less deviation from the production when they are La Niña. That confirms again the cycles that I showed before, that are linked with the total production of cereals around the globe. We get some correlations, areas correlate with the different index, one with the Oceanic El Niño Index and other with the Southern Oscillation Index, and we see the different sensitivity of the different areas of the world, these two levels in the correlation. We put together all the Niño, declared Niño. We can find for the first crop season the areas that are more correlated with El Niño, that we can see this area is high correlate with the frequency of a drought when they are El Niño event. Finally, the final conclusion is that this is very complex and looks like try to solve this Rubik cube because everything is dynamic. The atmosphere is changing, the winds are changing, and the impact of El Niño taking different scale time, sometimes in before December, sometimes around December, sometimes even go up to January, February. Then the impact, the peak of the Niño and the start of the Niño happen at different time. Also, the plants are dynamic. The peak of the Niño phenomenon could happen with a very sensitive phenological phase like flowering or grain filling, then the impact will be worse in the plants. However, some years they can happen before when the plants are less sensitive to the water stress. The ocean also is dynamic, and also we have to consider there are a lot of variables that is unknown. We don't know everything that relate regarding to the relation between El Niño intensity, star, and impact in agriculture. That means that this is to try to solve this record that do the things more complex, and we are advancing the knowledge, but we still do more investigations to get the full picture to understand this kind of phenomena and the negative impacts in agriculture. Thank you.